Pickle, let's go to the hotline, and let's welcome in the head coach of the unbeaten Madisonville Mustangs. We're pleased to be joined by Coach Russell Urbantke. Coach, how are you?
Good, good. Just got in off the field.
How are things in beautiful Madisonville, Texas?
It's warm today. Warm today. Very little wind and not a cloud in the sky.
I want to go back to a couple of years ago. You took over for Coach Rusty Nail, who became the athletic director, promoted from offensive coordinator. First couple of years at the helm, one playoff appearance in those first 3 years. But then last year, that run to 8-5, and now off to this 5-0 mark. What do you think has maybe been the difference between those early years and what you guys are experiencing now?
Well, anytime even though I was offensive coordinator and became the head coach, we had some of the assistant coaches change the position. Some of them left, some of them stayed, but just had the same offensive coordinator, same defensive coordinator for the last couple of years, and honestly, this group of seniors, a lot of these guys have been on, or several of these guys have been on varsity since they were freshmen. When I took over, we just had a couple of lean years, talent wise. And so we moved some younger kids up. And last year's group, those seniors, 24 that we graduated last year, a lot of those guys started as sophomores. So they'd been at the varsity level for 3 years. So we're leaning on that senior leadership and that, some of those guys have been on varsity since they were freshmen.
It's hard not to notice what you guys have been able to do on the defensive side to start the year. With your defensive coordinator Heath Britton, this is a defense that is really playing exceptionally well, giving up about 12 points a game through the first 5 games. What have you seen on the defensive side that has you encouraged moving forward?
Yeah, just relentless effort to the football. We coach it, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. In the takeaway program, those guys have gotten 13 turnovers this year, and 3 of them have been returned for touchdowns. Had a couple of scoop and scores, had a interception return for a touchdown, and we coach taking the ball away hard, in practice.
Talking with Russell Urbantke, the head coach of the Madisonville Mustangs here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TFToday. Of course, Coach, I know you're an offensive guy, and the offense has been certainly doing its part as well. It is hard not to notice the growth and the kind of emergence of Ty Williams, your quarterback, and what he's been able to do. What have you seen from QB1 Ty Williams so far this season?
Ty's the leader of our offense. He took over the starting job in district play last year as a sophomore. He led us through the playoffs. And we just kept that thing right on rolling into the summer and 7-on-7. And, he takes care of the football.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's going to take what the defense gives us. In the passing game, we do a lot of the RPO stuff. So, it's up to him whether we're running the ball or passing the ball. And we have confidence in him and putting those options on his shoulder. So, we may call an inside run play, but yet if he sees something on the outside that he likes that the defense has given us, he takes it. And when you can develop that trust and that, just how he's matured through the first 5 games is, he's, we got it clicking right now.
For the first time maybe ever, there's a lot of Madisonville Mustangs fans out in Lubbock, Texas, with Lorenzo Johnson, the Texas Tech commit, on the roster, a guy who is a two-way star for you guys, receiver, defensive back. He's impressive to watch, and the numbers are certainly there as well. As the guy who gets to coach him every day in practice and sees him all the time, what is it about Lorenzo Johnson that makes him special?
Just he just holds everyone accountable. On both sides of the ball. If somebody's not where they're supposed to be, he's going to let them know about it. It's just that senior leadership. And there again, he's one of those guys that's been up on varsity for 4 years. And he he has grown this year in a voice. He always kind of led by example, even as a sophomore and a junior. He really didn't have a big voice, and he just kind of, like I said, led by example. But now he's kind of come out of his shell as a senior, and if somebody's not where they're supposed to be, if a receiver's running the wrong route, he lets them know, and and not a degrading way, but just helps coach it up. Almost like another coach on the field.
I know you've got a couple weeks until then, but I do want to take the opportunity to ask you about your district, 11-4A Division II, a 5-team district, which always makes it a bit of a case of musical chairs, and what feels like a pretty tightly packed district. A lot of teams with a lot of talent in this district between Waco Conley, Robinson's off to a really nice start, Salado always dangerous as well. I'm interested from your perspective where you sit when you take a look at when district play arrives. What do you see in 11-4A Division II?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's very little, there's not a whole lot of difference between the top and the bottom once you get, to the end of the year. Coach Lancaster's come into Robinson, man, he's got those guys playing hard. Of course, Coach Westerburn, there, Salado, Coach Hunter over in Gatesville, and Waco Conley. That just the athletes that they have at every position. So from top to bottom, I mean, week in and week out, it is a dogfight. And I'm glad I got the bye next week. So I got the lucky one. We have Columbus, and then we have a bye, and then we go 4 in a row.
Before you get to that open date, though, you guys are going to hop on a bus and head down to Colorado County to Columbus to take on the second-ranked team in 3A Division I, the Columbus Cardinals. And certainly don't want you to give away trade secrets here, but when you take a look at what you guys are going to be up against tomorrow night in Columbus, what do you see?
One of the best. They are the best coached, well-coached team that will, in the state of Texas, that they know everybody's where they're supposed to be all the time. You're not going to get them on trick plays and, things like that. They're going to be where they're supposed to be defensively. And offensively, man, their offensive line's I said it last year. I mean, we played 13 ball games last year, and I still would say that their offensive line was the best offensive line we played all year. They got a couple guys that double over and play on the defensive line. Same thing. Defensive line, their linebackers. There's some of it's definitely going to be a test for the Mustangs. Coach Schobel does an amazing job. He'll have those guys fired up and ready to play. They came in here last year, and it was kind of score for score the first half, and man, they just kind of leaned on us a little bit the third quarter, and they got us. I felt like in the third quarter last year, so it's really what we've kind of honed in on this week. And their defense is a bend but don't break mentality. They try to keep everything in front of them, and don't let you get many shots over the top. But we're gonna have to take care of the football as we've done this year and create some turnovers on defense.
He's Russell Urbantke. He's the head coach of the state-ranked and unbeaten Madisonville Mustangs. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the great start, and best of luck tomorrow night in Columbus.
All right, Greg. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. There he goes. Russell Urbantke, head coach, the Madisonville Mustangs. Really intrigued. I mean, high praise. I mean, you can tell like that's not blowing smoke about Columbus. He was like, okay, this team's
really
good. This team's really good.
Yeah, and it's funny because we talk about Columbus's offensive line a lot. It's funny to hear a person that went up against him and he was like, oh, hands down. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be a challenge, but I'll tell you, like Madisonville, they have some weapons. So they have some weaponry that I think can push Columbus. Because when you take a look at who Columbus has played so far this year, I am not sure. In fact, I'm confident saying that they have not played a team as explosive and as, pedal to the metal as Madisonville can be. So that's going to be a real test for Columbus, who, by the way, has to deal with Hallettsville, Hitchcock, and Yoakum in consecutive weeks starting next week. So this is a 4-game stretch here for Columbus. That's going to be tough. And he's exactly right about his district, 11-4A Division II, where they get the open date, and then it's surprising Robinson. I tried to tell y'all, Chris Lancaster is ball coaching Jack came over from Academy, and he's got Robinson rolling right now. And then it's Gatesville, and then week 10 they take on Connolly, and that's going to probably be for the district championship in my opinion. But fascinating game tomorrow night in Columbus. We appreciate Russell Urbantke's time.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.